How's it going, guys? Preston here, Citizen Response. Another video coming to you guys today talking about the summer carry concealed carry fanny pack option. Kicking it off, let's talk about a little bit of philosophy of use. Why would you want this? Why would you need this? So if the goal is to be as close to 100% of concealed carry as close as we can get, we need to have options for specific niche areas in which concealing a gun is difficult. To me, this falls into three categories where this is a very useful tool. Number one would be like a lake day. You're going out, taking your shirt on and off. You want a gun nearby, but you can't have it on body because you're getting in the water. This also jumps into reason number two, which would be like a pool. You're going to swim, but you want to have your gun nearby just in case something goes down. Number three is the gym. Now that's a more widely debated topic. I personally don't find I'm able to conceal carry on body while working out effectively, and so I like to keep it in this bag. Now let's go over the setup and talk a little bit about why we have it set up the way we do. Now with the concealed carry fanny pack, you have to understand this is not a acceptable substitute in my mind to concealed carrying normally if you're wearing a shirt, but in the specific niche scenarios where you can't carry, this is the best you're gonna get. So let's talk about the way that we have it set up. First of all, before I get into the contents, let's talk about the bag. It's super important, don't get a tactical bag. The last thing you want is to have a tactical bag that screams, I have a gun. The whole point is to be incognito, flying under the radar. So I picked this one because I measured it out and before I bought it on Amazon, and I knew it would fit my Glock 43X, my SIG 365X. There's tons of different brands, but make sure the one you get is gonna be big enough to have the gun in the holster, which I'm gonna talk to you about in just a second. Don't get a tactical brand. All right, let's dive into this real quick. So first pocket, I'm trying to keep this as light as possible, but I consider having medical on body to be an essential. So I've got the Snake Staff ETQ here. It's a small tourniquet that I carry on my body on a daily basis. Got the Micro Medical kit. I make these and sell these on Etsy. I've talked about that in a previous video, so go check that out. But I got medical in this front pocket. Let's talk about the main pocket where I've got the gun. Now I don't want to keep anything else in here except for the gun and the way that it's being retained. To make the draw a little bit easier, I've got a little pole here, a piece of tubing that I cut, zip tied on here, because the last thing you want to be doing if you need to draw this gun is be fiddling with this little zipper right here. So you grab, you get yourself, you roll that thing over. What I've got in here is I've got my Filster Enigma. Now my Filster Enigma already had some Velcro on it for a wedge. I attached some Velcro to the back of here with some glue, and they just go together just perfectly. Now the reason I have the Enigma in here rather than a normal holster is because the Enigma gives me the ability to carry on body without a belt. So if I'm wearing something like gym shorts or I'm wearing something like a swimsuit, if we finish up for the day, decide to go out to eat or something like that, I want to have the ability to have this gun on body with what I already have. I'm not going to have another set of clothes pack to change into with a belt. I can just throw the Enigma on and I'm good to go. So I make sure that I have it set up just like this where I can get enough clearance for a good purchase. And real quick, let's talk about why I'm choosing to do that over just throwing the gun in here, either with a trigger guard holster or without one in the chamber. Number one is having a gun in here without one in the chamber, just loosey-goosey. It's going to be extremely slow. It's kind of unsafe in my opinion, and you're not going to be able to get a consistent purchase and draw on the gun, so that's a no-go for me. Number two is the trigger guard. The trigger guard runs into the same problem as no holster, is the gun is just able to flip-flop anywhere in here, so you're going to have to put your hand in there, dig around for the gun, rip it out, and then go. To me, there is no benefit to doing that. There's no disadvantage to running a holster versus doing that. All it takes is a little bit of Velcro in 2 seconds and you can just run your gun in here. And I'll show you on the range footage. The draw to first shots are not incredibly fast. My typical draw to first shot from 3 yards out to 15 yards is about under 1.5 seconds. And this is not even nearly that fast, but to me, this fills a void of, well, I wouldn't have a gun at all. So I would rather have a slow draw to first shot than no gun at all. So let's go ahead and kick over to the range footage and I'll kind of show you some times that I was able to get using this at different positions from different types of draws. As you can see down there, we have a clean target now. We're just gonna establish a baseline of some draw times. Now this is perfect, right? The target's not moving, I'm not moving, I'm static. I just want to see and get a good average of what you can expect under perfect conditions for draw speed with the setup. All right, that was a solid A-zone hit. 325. Another A-zone hit. Was it 284? Preferred A-zone hit. 264. Another preferred A-zone hit. 293. Show you my hits real quick. 4 A-zone hits right there. I think it's fair to say that even with perfect conditions, this is around a 3-second draw to first shot. Now let's implement some unconventional start positions, as well as starting with it like it's off my body. Now we're gonna practice like it's next to me at a table, sitting next to me at the pool, as I do sometimes, or even at the gym. And we're gonna go ahead and see what our draw to first shot times look like. This is at about 7 yards. Solid A-zone hit. 326. That was off to the left, not quite a perf, so that's a Charlie. 393. When I'm at the gym, this thing is on the ground, right? Or it's on the treadmill next to me running, but for most of the time it's on the ground. So we're gonna see what it's like popping down and making a shot with it from the ground. Low A-zone hit. 343. Not a great grip. Low, right past the A-zone Charlie. 337. We got to make these hits. We're only at 7 yards. Not acceptable. Perfect preferred A-zone hit. 370. There you have it, guys. You saw the range footage. You can see that I was averaging, honestly, if I was in a stressful situation, I had this on body, probably somewhere between 3 and 4 seconds. If it's off body, I would say maybe even closer to 4 or 5 seconds, obviously, depending how far you are from getting this. But having this big area to grab onto, this big thing to grab onto is an absolute game changer. And if you guys have any tips or tricks, if you have a setup like this, let me know, because I'm always constantly improving and evolving. But it's something to keep in mind. It's not the perfect option for all uses, but it fills a void where I think you wouldn't have a gun otherwise in most situations. That's all I got for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you made it to the very end, you already know what I'm about to talk about. A lot of people click off at this part. I do like to talk about my faith a little bit though, because it's super important to me, and it's like one of the main reasons I keep going on this channel, because I really care about getting good information out to people who are just trying to protect their families. We live in an absolutely insane, dangerous world, and there are really, really sick people out there who would love nothing more than to just execute you and your family in a shopping mall. And I want to give people, because I care about people, and I care about fathers being able to protect their kids, I care about mothers being able to protect their kids. I want to put out good information, good quality information that maybe you didn't think of, and you're like, oh, that's something I can do, that's something I can implement so I can concealed carry more to protect my family. That's why I do it. And that ultimately comes from my faith, that comes from me loving other people the way that I love myself. I want to do that with myself and my family, so I extend that to you as well. As always, there's an offer out there. If you're interested, I give out free Bibles, free chronological Bibles. If you're not a Christian, give this a read, give it a shot, read it for yourself, assess it for yourself. And if you are a Christian, it's a great tool to be used to bolster your faith, to learn more about your faith, and to really be able to saturate and just really understand the gospel in a better way. If you're interested in one of those, you can just hit up my email or DM me on Instagram. I've sent out a ton of them. I will continue to send them out until I'm dead. Or until this channel gets shut down. Guys, but as always, thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Get out there, train hard, stay safe.